Don't let him get away!
Hi, I'm Rob Cram, and today we're taking a look at Thief on the Xbox One. And I'm basically... What the... You'll have to excuse the Xbox Connect picking me up like that. So basically we're going to take a look at the standard features of the game and playing the game as best we can in a stealthy manner. And I'm just sort of going through the basics of playing it and addressing some of the sort of issues that other people have had with the game. Now I will be doing my own review of this game in due course, but I haven't completed it yet, so I'll withhold my sort of overall judgment, but kind of based on what I have played so far, I will give you a sort of overview of how I'm playing and what I feel about what is happening before me. So, you know, it starts off fairly tame. You've got a prologue mission to wade through, and then you obviously get let loose in the first mission, which is to get to the clock tower. Any means necessary. So first thing to point out here is that you've got options in how you approach getting to where you need to go. Obviously there's that alleyway there.
By Baron's decree.
I could use the street, but it's quite well lit. So I'm using my height advantage that I have at the moment.
I should make sense of this order. Locking ourselves in. That's why I'm not.
I must say it really does pay to sort of look around your surroundings, to find sort of an alternate route if what is presented to you looks impossible.
Like this won't stop the gloom spreading
Without getting detected. What is really good about this game that I have noticed is the custom settings that you can change before you start a new game, which allow you to tailor the game to your style of play. So that means things like game over if discovered, game over if attacked, various other elements that you can tailor to your style. So I'm really playing this on default at the moment. I haven't really sort of played with that yet. I think that comes with a bit more experience. So here now is an interesting kind of feature that I'm quite impressed with, is the lightning. Now obviously being a stealth game, light and dark is very much integral to your success, and the random element of this sort of lightning does add a bit of a edge to the game. As you see there, I did that shadow move which enables me to dash between the shadows.
smell the river from here.
Just got to be really careful. Now this guy here's got something on him that I'm going to try and sneak.
Just bought me another day in this pit.
Take the risk. Grab that. My need is greater than yours. And then find another alternate way of getting around him. I do not want to run the risk of disturbing that guy there, because that will mean a whole heap of now he does seem pretty locked into his routine there, making it quite easy for me to get past. But that's just one enemy. Just drop down here. Be careful of making noise when you drop down.
The claw's fairly quiet when used the right way. Aaron made this thing sound noisier than it is.
So I'm not sure if I've collected all the collectibles up until this point. I probably haven't. I'm going to move into the next area. The lock-picking minigame, which if you mess up and there are guards in close proximity to you, they will actually hear the lock and you'll get busted. They'll come and investigate, which is pretty annoying if you're trying to be a sneaky thief. So we now move into the next area. This sort of unnecessary QTE tapping the buttons. Not sure why they put that in here, but
Stonecutter's Court closed for the night.
I guess that's been one of the complaints about the game.
The price on that jeweled mask. Be enough to feed 100 squawking mouths for a year.
Don't you go catching a conscience now. Worse than the suicide sickness.
So, a fine jeweled mask.
Gates. Besides, that mask sounds interesting.
Something a thief isn't going to turn down the opportunity to investigate, at least.
Damn lights are still on the.
So before I sort of drop down into this
Anyone left
light
who knows
and
how to
dark
fix
area,
these
I'm
frigging
kind of
things?
looking around.
Luck finding a guildsman whose fingers in.
You can see up there that blue kind of highlight tells me I can climb up there, so
Hungry as hell.
making my way there would be a good start, but I could also sort of travel around the back. Sort of sneak around, pick up these bottles which I can use later. So all these flashing things are the inanimate objects that people have dropped. Obviously, you've got to have a bit of artistic license here. I mean, there's just so much stuff littering the levels. It gives it an almost arcade kind of flavour. That every few steps there's something to pick up. In direct conflict with having lots of beggars sitting around doing nothing. You kind of wonder to yourself, well, why can't the beggars go around and pick these things up that have been left lying there, seeing as they're kind of looking like they're starving. But you do have to kind of give the game a bit of artistic license in that regard. So let's kind of sneak around here, be mindful of those guards, keep in the shadows here.
Nightmares every night.
It's back to be turned. Weak option. Again, being really mindful of the lightning that can scupper your plans straight away, and I've managed to find my way into the jewelers.
Residence upstairs. Stealing the mask shouldn't be a problem.
I hate that friggin' bird. Goes crazy every time someone makes a noise.
There should be a light switch in here. So basically I've really got to keep an eye on this
I would not
guard here
let
and
the bed
stay
go cold.
behind him. There's a light switch.
Hey, how'd that go?
It's alerted him. So while he's kind of investigating. Sneak.
Anyone here?
Wasn't anything after all, I guess.
Ah, and he's turned the light back on.
He shows. Might mean extra coin.
So I mean I have the choice now. I can sort of
All these beauties. What's happening?
sort of just keep following him around the room.
If that's a lifter, I'm not afraid to get rough. Wasn't anything after all, I guess.
Just got to make sure I stay in the dark. And stay behind this guy.
I need a drink.
Just retreat back into the shadows. And just wait for him to...
If he's got this on show, what else has he got locked away?
There is a lot of loot in this room.
Wish there was a sloop star nearby.
What's really cool is you have to be mindful of those
I wonder if I should check on his wife.
cabinets, because if you leave them open,
Friggin' gloom.
then
Killing off the bear.
they'll notice that they've been left open, and that can cause you problems. So whilst he's there, he does take a long time there. Do I have time to quickly pick this lock?
These jewels are glass. Still, it'll fetch good coin from someone.
That's the mask I was after. Successfully done.
An upstairs window should get me over that gate.
There is more stuff in here.
Rats everywhere.
I'm going to stay in this room for now and just continue being sneaky. A thief's work is never done here. Cranny. Just being mindful of the fact that he's going to be walking around in his circuit, and I don't want to get trapped. I mean, even things like closing the doors will cause suspicion. So you've really got to be mindful of how you're interacting with the environment.
That sloop went through me like the river.
You've got to be really careful with these lock picking. One mistake, that guard will wake up. It'll be very difficult for me to get out of it. And this is really quite a tight lock to pick. There's not much margin for error here. Got it.
Now, what do we have here?
So right now, I do feel like a thief. I do feel like I've infiltrated the jeweler's shop. I do feel like there's a definite threat to my safety if I make a mistake. And in this regard, I think the game is doing a good job of creating that kind of tension. The only thing that really does let it down is the fact that there's these objects in there. So many of them. I mean, it's incredible. How many objects have I picked up so far, for example? There seems to be something in every nook and cranny to sort of pick up, which is not very realistic.
Tough times.
Be careful now coming back into this room. The guard could be coming right up here and I could just walk into his path. So I've just got to be careful. I can use the focus.
I feel like I can think and act faster than normal when I concentrate. What happened to me?
Incredibly close.
Easier to die in this town than make a living here.
I mean, if you can play it in a sort of way where you could just knock out the guards. Make your job a lot easier. I don't really want to be standing here. It's not a good place to stand. I think it's time to get out of this room. There's 2 points I can use. Back up on the roof again. As you can see, more items to collect. Left the drinks bottle up there for some reason. Doesn't make any sort of sense whatsoever, other than giving you stuff to collect. Drop down. Carpeted floor means less noise.
Oh, it's cold out tonight.
Interacting with those lights.
Oh, rock's teeth.
Darkness is my friend. The only comfort I have. Apart from my fingers.
Same nightmares every night. Something feels wrong.
Now, one thing that probably is quite annoying to kind of look at is the fact that it's not pitch black, and for the sake of being a game, it looks like, oh, you're standing right next to that woman. Why didn't she see me? In real life, she would have seen me
What happened to the sloop?
when she was that close. But obviously, this is
out.
a video
Once I
game.
drop down, there's no coming back.
And you've got to kind of take into consideration that the player needs to actually see what they're doing as well. So having it in pitch darkness wouldn't be much fun for the player, especially as there's no night vision. Although in the last game, Deadly Shadows, Garrett did have an eyepiece that enabled him to see better, which seems to be absent from this version so far. Sticking to the shadows as I can. Leave her alone. Focus, there's not much else in there. Okay, I think we're good to escape this area. Window. Continue onto the clock tower. More QTE moments. Tap that X button. Normal behavior for a thief. So far, atmosphere-wise, it's pretty top quality, I would say. I mean, graphics aren't as good as they could be, but they've got a real nice kind of dark and moody vibe to them. And as I say, the atmosphere is pretty cool. I mean, there's not much action going on. It's not an action game. I'm really enjoying kind of this element of sneaking around in the dark, avoiding the enemies.
The old man remembers the Shalebridge fires. Flames so bright, night became day. Or was it smoke so thick, day became night?
Well, I read that before the Baron was born.
But this music seems a bit out of place.
Read it, did you? Oh, bloody friggin' duh. Nothing like being there, is it? These streets have seen all manner.
Wait for their conversation to end. Will they move?
Don't forget the war.
Should I have used that opportunity to sneak past?
Of course, if our neighbors catch wind of the shit pile we're in now, you'll see your bloody war.
Seem quite a lot, but that lightning is quite dangerous.
Smell the rubber. Yes. Watch out. Like to step lightly.
Get some height advantage.
Wonder if the Baron can do something to stop the sickness from spreading. Word goes, he's
intensity of that lightning has
You're kidding!
I swear.
increased. More enemies here.
Please, sir, you can smell that shit himself.
So for the time period this game is set in, the music is completely unfitting.
Captain's orders. He said go stand under the window of that woman on Bleach Market. Her with a face that the rapists would throw back in the river. Try to make it crack a smile.
Boss! Die of the gloom already!
Look around, maybe there's an alternate way I can
Careful.
get past.
She's off to fetch the piss pot.
There's a walkway up there. Those guards are gone. My opportunity to get past. Could have shot that. Whoa, 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 dangerous.
About martial law, but you don't see me.
We locked the gates, you fog skull.
There might be another way up here. You can see. That's good. Make it up here quickly.
Weather's turning.
So I'm not going to take any unnecessary risks here. I mean, I'm sure these guards have got stuff I can steal off them.
Up Eastport way, right? Is the gloom there yet?
But that comes with a bit more
River drains were clogged with the
practice and understanding of the game and its mechanics
giant.
before you start taking those risks.
Come on.
As you can see, there's a rope there I could have climbed up. And I've made it to the clock tower. Mission complete. The ghost. So it reminds me of Splinter Cell, the kind of breakdown at the end. Splinter Cell Blacklist. I only got 50% of the loot. 2 or 4 of the collectibles. But I didn't perform any knockouts. There was 2 suspicious moments. But still, that's pretty good. And I remained undetected throughout the entire mission. Okay, well, I think based on that particular level, I'm enjoying playing it as a ghost. I think that's pretty cool. And I'm assuming the rest of the game will follow that same sort of template, allowing you to sort of become more predatory or more opportunistic or more ghostly. And it's having the choice available to you. That's quite good. Okay, that's Thief. I'm Rob Cram, and thanks for watching.